Hi, I'm James and welcome to today's video. We're going to look at this game today, the Pyramid of Khufu. Now this was written by Steve Clure and Claire Clure. I met these at Games Expo and I found out that the game is being produced for the Velindre cancer charity, Welsh cancer charity. So it's a charity game on a subject which I have to be honest is of interest to me, ancient Egypt. So I had a quick game while I was there, so let's actually have a look what we get in the box. 10 out of 10 for this, for the no plastic, so it's nice and ecological. I do like that, that's a good start. So let's have a look. It's a nice little compact box, so it's not exactly big. Okay, now this straight away sums up how detailed the research was on this. The Book of the Dead with dead crossed out and rules. So you have a little bit of the story explaining that this is all to do with the Pharaoh Khufu, who you also known as Cheops. It's his burial. So usefully it actually includes an expansion as well. So it describes how to play the game. Looks nice and straightforward. Nicely laid out. Talks then about the expansion. Gives a quick overview of how to play the game. And what I will do is I will do a playthrough of this. Now, one thing I like is it also includes solitaire rules that we'll come to shortly. So you get all the different cards. We'll look at the cards in a second. You've got the gods, stealing things. Okay, tomb robbing. Big thing, even back in ancient Egypt. And end of the day, a friend of mine who's actually made the comment, actually I'm a professional tomb robber, in other words an archaeologist. So it talks about how you can steal, special tokens. There are a number of special tokens, how to score at the end of the game, and then a solo mode. Now I've not actually seen the solo mode, so I'm going to have a look at that one later on. So it's a nice short little rule book. We've got a scoring card. Okay, it's quite nice and atmospheric. So we've then got the tokens. Some of these seem to have come out. I don't have a problem with that. So for each side you've got protect, hide and search. Okay, and a couple of other individual markers there, so let's put those there. We've got a nicely themed dice, all themed in very Egyptian looking icons, and then we have the cards. So let's have a look what we've got. Now, secret challenges, they're from the expansion set. I know that much at least, so we've got those there. We've then got the different grave goods. Now it's very noticeable that you actually have at the bottom of the card, a couple of quick reference cards, at the bottom of the cards, on a lot of them, those who back the Kickstarter, you will see various names on there, and they are the people who backed on the Kickstarter. Now, I know for a fact I was quite bemused when I was looking through this. When I was actually at the Games Expo, I was looking through it and I actually found a relative of mine's name on there, which I found quite bemusing. So Gareth, if you're watching this, quick shout out to you there. You can see all the different cards for all the different funeral goods there. Solo mode reference card, okay, sacred item reference card. So we've got some reference cards. So they're the funeral goods. Then on this side, let's have a look. Yeah, they are the same colour. They are a different colour for the secret challenges. We've then got the gods, and these are very, very well researched because they have a mechanism for the different gods matching up, and you can see the gods have got the red border, the goods have got like a purple border, you've got pink for the challenges. You've then got the cards such as stealing from the pyramids, stealing from hands, searching the discard pile. We've got all of those there. A couple of robbers' tunnel cards and the different chambers, with the Pyramid of Cheops or Khufu having 3 levels. There was the King's Chamber, which was at the top. There was the Queen's Chamber, which was the next level down. And you had the subterranean or underground level. So these are the basic cards in the set. Now, it's very simple how it's played. You have to build up. I'm only going to go a very quick overview here. But basically, you have to build up the different goods. And they're worth points. So, for example, this set of weapons is worth 5 points. So I need to build up my pyramid. Now, depending on what level you're playing to, you may have 3 levels or you may have 4. If you have 4, then you're using all of the goods. Otherwise, you're only using 6 of the goods. So what you do is you gradually build up. We'll have food or drink as well. Some clothes and jewellery. So we're building up our pyramid as we're playing by putting these in. Now, if I get more than one of the same one, I can actually stack it. So we have multiple items and that will score more. If you can see in the corner, you've got the scores. But at the minute, that's not complete, because what we then need to do is to actually have, for each of them, a god blessing them. So, for example, we'll have Thoth blessing the clothes and jewellery. Now, Thoth is worth 4 points. However, if he's in the same pyramid as Horus, it's worth an extra 3 as he recovers the eyes plucked out by Set in battle. It's very well researched. I know that Steve and Claire actually went to a university to actually check the relationship between all of the gods. So what you do is you gradually build up your pyramid, putting these in, but you can also put these into the other player's pyramid. So this is quite a nasty card to do that with. Here. Now, he's worth -4. There's a little bit of background text saying he wishes to devour your soul, you're in danger. Now, some of them are quite useful. So, for example, if you find, let's find an example, Menhit, okay, it's a Nubian goddess, and she swoops in and massacres your army. You've never won her favour. So she scores -4. But if, on the other hand, you're in the same pyramid as Khnum, and I apologise for my Egyptian pronunciation, she protects him and the army, so actually it then scores a +3. So it would actually only be worth -1. So you do have to actually make sure you're getting the right gods in the right setting. So it's a nice little touch. You have to try and remember what gods you've used, what gods the other side have used. They are face down when they're put in, which means that there's a little bit of memory, but there are mechanisms where you can actually have a look at the cards. And then once you've actually got all of the goods assembled, and they've all been blessed by at least one god, then you can find, he says looking desperately for it, the capstone. And then once you put the capstone on, the tomb is complete, and you score up. So it's a very, very simple game. If I can find a capstone card. There we go, and there's different capstones, and again, they're worth different points. So it's basically a system of building up your pyramid and sabotaging the other side's pyramid. Very quick and simple game. I played the demo game, having all the rules explained to me in probably about 30 minutes. So yeah, nice little game. The cards, they're a nice solid card, slightly textured there. They feel like papyrus and they look like papyrus, which is a very, very nice touch. A lot of thought has gone into this. I do like what's being done. So I'm going to have a look at it, and I'll also talk through a little bit about the history as well, a little bit about Khufu. I think it would be interesting just to do that. So bear with me a second and I will give you the background on Khufu. So, a little bit of the background then. Khufu was from the 4th dynasty in ancient Egypt. His full name was Khufu, known to the Greeks as Cheops, as we said earlier. He was the second pharaoh of the 4th dynasty in the Old Kingdom, so you're talking 26th century BC. That might change if you accept David Roll's new chronology. I haven't checked what it would be with that. He succeeded his father Sneferu, and he basically commissioned, it's accepted anyway, the Great Pyramid of Giza. But other than that, we have very little documentary evidence of him. There's only one 3-inch high figurine, which was found in 1903. That's the only complete portrait. There's other reliefs and statues, but they're fragments. Most of what we know about him comes from the inscriptions in the necropolis and later documents, which does cause a lot of problems because a lot of the information was written a lot later. Herodotus, for example, usually known as the father of history, but he wasn't above making a good story if it was appropriate. So it doesn't give us a lot to go on. The later accounts have him as very negative, but obviously we're not 100% sure of how that actually works. Now I'm just looking at the gods, because he is named after a god, and I'm just wondering if they've actually included that, and they have. Khnum. So yeah, very high scoring card as well, which is a nice little touch. So like I said, we know very little about him. Obviously, what we have is the Great Pyramid, which is something he will always be remembered for, being as it's one of the great 7 wonders of the world. Now, I do think it's probably, before you play this, just getting your head into it. I did actually remember, and I had to do a bit of research to find it. There is a film which he has appeared in, or the character has appeared in, which was Land of the Pharaohs by Howard Hawks from 1955. It's a bit of a like it or loathe it film. It's very good on the sort of the palace intrigue, but it's an epic in the sense of what it shows, and it's worth watching just to get your head round it, I think. Tomb Lid of the Last Revelation, you had to actually go into the temple, so into the pyramid, and face Seth as the final boss. And it also features in Assassin's Creed Origins, where you have to find the tomb. So culturally, it's quite significant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another read through the rules, particularly the solo rules, and perhaps I'll give a quick playthrough. So bear with me and I will set that up. Okay, so time for the solo playthrough. I'm going to play it on easy mode. Now, I've started to set it up. I need to pull out the different level cards, and we start with the subterranean level in play and the robber's tunnels attached to it. The other two are put to one side until I actually get to them. So I then need to go through all of the action and steal and the robber's tunnel cards. Now I need to pick 5 of these at random, and that becomes the event deck. The rest aren't used in the game. So there's my event deck. Now shuffle then the remaining cards. This is the gods and the sacred items. Deal 6 to myself. So what have I got? I've got a capstone, a goddess, Shabbat, another goddess. Okay, close to. Okay, that's not a bad starting hand. There's a nice little mix in there. Now, take the special tokens. I get 1 protect and 1 search. We don't use the hide one on this. Oh, sorry, I should have put the market space out, which has got. Let's have a look. Oh, some more useful goods in there. There's quite a few useful goods there. So we've got that. Now I need to take the secret cards, and I need to pick 5 of these, and this gives me the score I've got to get within. Playing it on the easy level, I've got to get within 5. So what have we got? We've got a 10, a 9, a 5, a 5, and a 10. So I'm actually looking at, it looks fairly high scoring, I think, that one. I need to get a score of 39. So I've got to get between 33 and 44. So 34. Okay, so that's the table set up. So now we start with the market phase. Now to do the market phase, I have to, and you must always pick up one minimum. Now looking at what's there, I want to try and get, because I need quite high scoring, I'm going to discard the value 1 clothes and jewellery and take the food and drink. Capstone I think I need to keep hold of for now. Although having said that, what I could do is use my search, so I'll discard that as well. I'll pick up another one so we can be really cracking on with the building. So we'll take the amulets, I think. So that's the market phase. We now come to the building phase, and I can take 5 actions. So laying each one down costs 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to tuck one of the gods underneath as my 5th action. So I've actually now completed the subterranean level. So we now move into the replenish phase. So the first thing we do is restock the market. A couple of gods, that's quite useful, and restock the hand. So okay, another negative god, positive god, amulets. So I've already got amulets in play, but that's not a problem. Horus and Osiris. Okay, that's not a bad. We'll set that, and then we get the event card. So what has occurred? Okay, steal from the pyramid. So we'll roll the dice, and because I've got one subterranean level, one robber's tomb, there's 1 added to it. So the Egyptian 1 there, I'm actually going to lose 2 items. That's quite critical. I'm just checking which one you start with, just to make sure. Yeah, start with most recently placed item, and then move to the next most recent. So I lose those 2. That's a bit annoying. I'm losing a +5. So that's the end of round 1. So round 2. I'm still going to. I need to really push now to get the items in. So we haven't got that one, and we haven't got that one. So I'm going to have to lose 2 cards for that. So I'll put those 2 into there. So I discard those 2. I'm thinking ahead here. So my actions, I've now got 5 actions. So 1, 2. Now what I'm going to do at this point is discard a god to close off that subterranean tunnel. So that's now gone from the game. So that's 3 actions. I'll tuck that one 4, and I'll tuck that one 5. Okay, so it's the end of the turn. Replenish. Okay, and replenish the hand. Oh, we're getting some quite useful ones now. We're getting lots of different goods. Okay, and what's the event? Another robber's tunnel. Now I haven't actually opened another level. I just got rid of the wrong card there. But unfortunately, I've got rid of that one, so it puts it back to where I was. Okay, so turn 3. There's only 5 turns. That's why we've got 5 cards in the event deck. I've got to take an item. Again, I'm re-pushing to try and get the items with this. I also think it's probably worth getting a god. I need to try and open up a number of these, because I need to be really high scoring. I think I'll take the gods there. So we now will go into the main phase, the building phase. Oh, I need to open up the new level. So we will open up the Queen's chamber level. So for this one, we'll go 1, 2, and 3. So we've now got the full set there. I think what I'm going to do then is start getting some gods in. So that's 4. And I'm going to discard a card to get rid of that tunnel. I'm quite concerned about losing items. So replenishment time. So what do we get in the market? We've got some more gods. A sarcophagus. Okay, and what do I get in the hand? I'm looking now for some of the items that I don't have. There should be 2 items that I don't have. Book of the Dead, I have got that one. Another Book of the Dead. Oh, Canoptic Jars. I haven't got Canoptic Jars. So that's good news. So, random event. Steal from hand. So this time I lose 1 card from the hand. We shuffle the hand. And we'll lose that one. The amulets. Okay, I've already got an amulet in, so it's not as bad as it could have been. So, next turn then. Well, I need some gods, and I've got 2 Books of the Dead. So if I discard that, and we'll get a god. I think I'll leave it at that. I'm going to shuffle them up slightly because I can now open up the King's Chamber. So that's 1, 2. Oh, I've got the Book of the Dead in there already. It's the Canoptic. This is Shabbat there. So now they're in as well. Canoptic Jars, wrong card. Okay, so that's 1 action. I'm going to use the search one. I can only use this once in a turn. So let's go through the deck and see what I want to pick up. Well, actually, there we go. Clothing and jewellery. I'll take that version of it, which is worth slightly more. Yep, that's the one that'll do. So that's 1 action, 2 actions, 3 actions, 4 actions, and I'm going to discard 2 as my final action. So let's see what we get. It's only 1 item to go in the marketplace, which is more Canoptic Jars, and I get 6 cards. So what do I get? Okay, well, we've got a couple of gods, which is useful. Let's see what happens in the event. Steal from Pyramid, great. And we lose 1 item. The last one I played was that clothing and jewellery. And that's very frustrating for me because that's going to give me a bit of a problem. So, action-wise, I'm going to need ideally 3 gods, and I've got 2 in my hand. So I'm going to discard a card to get a 3rd god. That's all I think I'm going to do there. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to search and go through and get the clothing. I was hoping to have gone back and got the capstone with this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's my actions complete. So we'll put the next cards out. Okay. Oils and ointments, sarcophagus, and amhair. Okay, so none of those are relevant. What's the last random event? Steal from hand. Okay, it's not going to affect the game, but we'll do it anyway. So we go through and I lose the oils and ointments. So that is the end of the game. Now it's time to score it. So let's just turn to the scoring card just so I make sure I get it right. So first of all, add up all the items on the table. So we've got 14. I think I may have got a bit too well with this. 14, 18, 23, 26, 28, 34, 36, 40, 48, 52, Yeah, I may have made a mistake here. 52, 57. Now, all of them had gods under them, so I don't lose anything for that. But I don't have the capstone, so that loses me 3. So I have actually done too well. I should really have had a look at that as I was coming to the end of the game and done the calculation. But I thought rather than wasting a lot of time, I'll just play it quickly. So that's the game. That's the 1-player one. What I will do is look at doing a 2-player game and filming that. And then what I'll also do is I'm hoping to have an interview with the authors of the game. Stay tuned to the channel for that. See you soon for another review.